Okay guys, Dick from Dick's Electronics. Managed to get this one. I'm sure it's much clearer than the last one. What we've got here is engine running at about 2000 revs. Up here we can see it in our scanner, just hovering around the 2000. Mind you, this is doing like 100 frames a second, so it's quite difficult to read that speed. Anyway, getting on a bit, I've got the temperature down here at only 0.43 degrees. So this little red marker here actually is on that scale. It's actually showing here -4. That's -4 is fairly close, fairly broad area through here. So I can't go any lower than 0.43 in temperature, but it's still in the center of the program. It's sitting on a plateau there anyway, so that's our starting point. And if we look up here, this on the right hand side in the picoscope, the top trace is the injector pulse. The pulse below it is the ignition pulses, and we're triggering here on the falling edge. And you can see that this green one here is the cam sensor. Sometimes it falls out of sync, but not always. And then of course the bottom one is the crank signal. So that gives you an idea what we're doing there. So what we're looking for really now is any movement in this injection pulse up here. So what we can do now is, rather than change the actual values of it in real time, we can do a sweep of the coolant temperature as it normally would be running in the vehicle from, say, cold to hot, and then we can see any change in this injector pulse up here in the right hand top pulse there. So we'll actually go back, and what I'll do now is I'll actually increase the temperature fairly slowly, and then you guys can watch this top injection pulse rate and see it move. I've also got down the bottom here on the left hand area in our real time, we've got a step here for raw, and I do remember Ken saying something about that he was changing his at one stage of 4 hex. Well, 4 raw is the same as 4 hex. So I've left that step in there, and so later we might move that as well and see what that's doing. Maybe we can count how many of those maybe equals 90 degrees or something like that. But I'll now go and change the temperature, and you'll notice the temperature changing here in this blue one here, the coolant temperature here, sitting on 0.43 degrees. You'll also see this red marker come across. I won't go too high because sometimes it goes off the end of my scale on the potentiometer pot I'm using. So I'll start moving that now, and then you can watch that injection pulse. Okay, starting to move it now, very slowly. You can see the cross with the red square starting to move over. Injection pulse hasn't started to move yet. Still hasn't begun to move. Okay, we're coming across. Okay, we're still going across, still going across, still going across. We're up to 23 degrees. Now there's a bit of a movement there. It's actually moved a little tiny bit. So I'll just keep going, up to 31 degrees. We're still moving. 36, 39, 40. Yeah, we're still moving. Surprising how far it moves. 56 degrees, 60 degrees, 72, 81, up to 100. See, she's gone 125. Yeah, won't go any higher than that because it'll go off the end of my pot. So I'll just bring it back again now. You can see me coming back slowly, and you'll see it coming back again. Watching that red one there on the left. It's coming back, and coming back. And there's our almost back to our starting point, which is right back here at here we are, 0.43 degrees again. Okay, I'll end it there, and you guys can have a look at that. Okay, cheers.